In this video, you'll learn how to grow 9 fast-growing vegetables that give you quick harvests and fast wins in the garden, even if you're working with small spaces or containers. These are the kinds of crops that grow quickly from seed, don't require complicated setups, and reward you with fresh greens and roots sooner than most people expect. If you want easy vegetables you can plant today and start enjoying soon, you're in the right place. Subscribe and tap the bell so you don't miss future gardening tutorials, container growing tips, and simple methods that help you grow more food at home. 1. Turnips. Turnip is one of the most underrated quick crops because you get both leafy greens and a tasty root. Begin with quality seeds and choose a container that's large enough for the roots to develop, making sure it has good drainage holes so the soil never stays soggy. Turnips hate wet feet, so a well-draining soil mix matters. A simple blend that works well is garden soil combined with compost and a drainage ingredient like sand. Make shallow holes about ½ inch deep and space them a few inches apart, so each plant has room to grow. Then drop one seed into each hole and cover lightly with soil. Water thoroughly to settle everything and remove air pockets, then place the container in a sunny spot where it can receive several hours of direct sunlight each day. Keep the soil consistently moist but not waterlogged, and feed lightly during growth using compost or gentle organic fertilizer. As the tops grow lush and leafy, watch the root size near the soil surface and harvest when the roots reach a good eating size, since very large turnips can become tough and woody. 2. Fenugreek. Fenugreek is one of the most rewarding fast crops you can grow because it moves quickly and gives you edible leaves and seeds. Choose a wide container with good drainage and sprinkle the seeds across the surface without worrying too much about perfect spacing. Cover the seeds with a light layer of soil, because fenugreek doesn't need to be buried deeply. Water well and keep the soil evenly moist as it germinates, then grow it in a sunny spot where it receives a solid dose of direct sunlight each day. Fenugreek doesn't transplant well, so it's best to sow it directly where it will mature. As the sprouts grow taller and thicker, you can begin harvesting by cutting the leaves just above the crown, so the plant can regrow again and again. After each harvest, top dress with compost and water well to encourage fresh growth, and continue harvesting until the plant begins to flower, if you're growing mainly for greens. 3. Garlic. Garlic greens are one of the easiest ways to get a steady supply of fresh flavor without waiting for full garlic bulbs. Start with healthy garlic bulbs and choose a medium-sized pot with drainage holes at the bottom. Fill it with a well-draining soil mix that includes compost for nutrition. Then place the cloves or bulbs flat side down and cover them with about an inch of soil. Space them so roots have room to expand. Then water slowly until you see water flowing out of the drainage holes. Set the container in a bright location where it gets strong sun most days. As the greens grow, you can harvest them once they reach a good height by trimming the shoots a couple inches above the soil line, so the plant can recover and keep producing. With consistent moisture and enough light, you'll be able to harvest fresh garlic greens repeatedly for an extended period. 4. Kale. Kale is another fast-growing option, especially if you want a leafy green that can keep producing over time. Sprinkle kale seeds on the soil surface, cover them lightly, and water well to settle the soil around the seeds. Once they germinate and the seedlings become sturdy, move them to a larger pot if needed, being gentle with the roots. Kale grows best in rich, well-draining soil, so a mix that includes compost is ideal, and a pot that gives each plant enough room helps it grow more vigorously. Place the container in a sunny spot where the plant gets several hours of direct sun each day. Then water consistently so the soil stays evenly moist. Because kale is a leafy crop, it responds well to regular feeding with compost or a nitrogen-rich organic amendment. When the leaves reach a usable size, harvest from the outside first by removing the lowest mature leaves, and avoid cutting the center growth point so the plant can continue producing for a longer harvest season. If pests like caterpillars become an issue, use gentle organic controls and keep an eye on the leaves regularly. 5. Radishes. Radishes are the classic fast harvest vegetable because they move quickly and give you a satisfying result in a short window of time. Use a container deep enough for root development and fill it with soil that drains well and contains plenty of organic matter. Sow radish seeds spaced slightly apart, cover them lightly with soil, and water after planting. Keep the soil evenly moist during germination. Then continue watering consistently so the roots don't become woody or overly spicy. Give radishes strong sunlight daily and feed lightly if needed, but the biggest success factor is consistent moisture and not overcrowding. When the top of the radish begins to push above the soil and the root looks about the right thickness, harvest promptly by gripping near the root and pulling gently, since the greens can break if you tug from the leaves alone. 6. Lettuce. Lettuce is perfect for quick harvest because you can harvest leaves early, or let it mature into a full head depending on the variety you choose. Start your seeds in a light seed starting mix, sprinkle the seeds over the surface, and cover them with a thin layer of soil. Press lightly so the seeds make good contact with the soil, then water gently so you moisten the mix without soaking it. Once the seedlings are established, transplant them into a richer container mix that contains compost, and space them so air can move between plants. Water well after transplanting and keep moisture steady because lettuce grows best when it never dries out completely. As it develops, you can harvest the outer leaves first for a cut and come again style harvest, or let the plant form a full head and harvest the entire plant at once when it looks mature. 7. Spinach. Spinach is another quick leafy green, but the key to success is starting with fresh seeds and keeping the soil consistently moist. Use a soil mix rich in organic matter, moisten the mix before planting, and space the seeds so each plant has room to grow. Cover the seeds lightly, pat the soil down gently, and mist or water carefully to avoid disturbing the seeds. Give spinach plenty of sunlight each day and water often enough that the soil never dries out, especially in containers where moisture disappears faster. Once leaves reach a usable size, harvest by cutting full leaves with a bit of stem, since leaves without stems tend to spoil faster. Cut above the crown so the plant can continue producing new growth, and after harvesting, feed lightly with compost or a gentle fertilizer to encourage another flush of leaves. 8. Green onions. Green onions are one of the easiest container crops because they grow well in bunches and don't require much space. Start with fresh seeds, sprinkle them over the soil surface, cover lightly, and press gently for good seed-to-soil contact. Keep the soil evenly moist as they germinate, then once seedlings are tall enough, transplant them carefully into a larger container using a rich, well-draining soil mix. Bury the lower portion of each seedling slightly deeper so it can anchor well, and space plants a couple inches apart so they can mature with thicker bases. Water well after transplanting and keep moisture steady throughout growth. Feed occasionally with compost or a light organic amendment, and begin harvesting once the stalks reach a good height and thickness, pulling entire plants as needed or harvesting selectively and allowing smaller onions to continue growing. 9. Swiss chard. Swiss chard is an excellent fast grower because it's productive, resilient, and keeps producing new leaves after you harvest. Sow seeds in a container, cover lightly with soil, and water gently. Chard seeds often produce more than one seedling per cluster, so once plants are established, thin or transplant carefully so each plant has enough space to grow strong. Place the pot where it receives good sun most days, though it will tolerate partial shade, and keep the soil consistently moist with a steady watering routine. Swiss chard responds well to regular watering and occasional feeding, and once the leaves reach a good size, harvest individual outer leaves as you need them rather than cutting the whole plant. This method keeps the center growing point intact, so the plant continues pushing new leaves for repeated harvests. Young leaves can be eaten fresh, and larger leaves are great cooked, which makes chard one of the most versatile crops you can grow for quick results. If you found this video helpful and encouraging, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and join a community of gardeners who believe that growing well is just as important as growing more. Your support helps this channel continue to share thoughtful, practical gardening wisdom, season after season.